Theory of Change, or TOC, is a useful tool for planning and checking projects aimed at making social improvements. It gives a clear way to understand how change happens and helps design programs that are more likely to succeed. TOC is not a strict formula, but a flexible method that can be adjusted to different situations and problems. At its heart, TOC is about creating a shared plan of the steps needed to reach a long-term goal. The first step in creating a theory of change is to set a clear long-term goal. This goal should be big, but also realistic and measurable. It should describe the main change you want to see in the world from your efforts. For example, a long-term goal could be to lower childhood obesity rates in a community. This goal is clear, measurable, and focused on a specific outcome. Once you have the long-term goal, break it down into smaller, manageable steps. These steps are milestones on the way to the main goal. Each step should be clear and connected to the main goal in a logical way. With the main goal set, the next step is to plan backwards, figuring out what needs to happen to reach each goal. This is called backwards mapping. We ask what needs to be done for this to happen. For example, to lower childhood obesity, we might need more healthy food options, better nutrition education, and more chances for kids to be active. Backwards mapping helps us see the important steps for change. It makes us think about the root causes of a problem and how different factors are connected. This process can show us possible challenges and areas where we need to work harder. Every theory of change is based on certain ideas about how change happens. These ideas are about the situation you're working in and what will help you reach your goals. For example, a program to reduce childhood obesity might think that parents care about their kids' health and have the time and money to make healthy meals. It's important to know and explain these ideas because they are the base of your theory of change. If your ideas are wrong, your program might not work well. For example, if parents can't get affordable healthy food, then a program that only teaches about nutrition won't help much. Once we know what we want to achieve and the steps needed, the next step is to decide on the specific actions and activities to make it happen. These actions should be directly connected to the steps we identified earlier. They should tackle the main issues and create the right conditions for change. Actions can include services, community efforts, policy changes, and awareness campaigns. The choice of actions will depend on the situation, the people involved, and the resources we have. Now, to see if we're making progress and reaching our goals, we need to create indicators. Indicators are things we can measure that show change. Indicators have 4 parts: who, how many, how much, and when. For each indicator, we ask, who is changing? How many do we expect to succeed? How much is enough? When should this happen? For our community health project, indicators might include the percentage of residents joining exercise programs, the number of people attending diet workshops, and how often health checks are done. A theory of change is more than just boxes and arrows. It tells a story about how change happens. This story, called the narrative logic, shows how different parts of the theory of change are connected. It explains how actions are expected to lead to the desired results, considering the context, assumptions, and possible challenges. Explaining the narrative logic is key to sharing the theory of change with others. It helps people understand the reasons behind the program, the planned steps for change, and the evidence to track progress. A clear story can build support for the program, get stakeholders on board, and increase the chances of success. To sum up, the theory of change is a strong tool for planning, doing, and checking social change projects. It gives a clear path from actions to results and helps find what's needed to reach long-term goals. Setting long-term goals, decide on the final outcome you want. Working backwards, start from the final goal and figure out the steps needed to get there. Identifying assumptions, list the beliefs that support your plan. Choosing actions, pick the specific steps to reach your goals. Setting indicators, create ways to measure your progress. Writing a story, make a clear story that explains your plan. By following these 6 steps, you can build a strong theory of change for any project, making sure everyone is on the same page and working towards the same goals.